She loves her mama. Tell you what, though.
Hmm. Thank you. Yeah, it's all good, man. Mom's doing okay. Mrs. Blake is okay.
Yep, she is doing actually great now. She had to get on another round of antibiotics, which is never fun.
No,
But you know, birth is a it's not a fun, enjoyable thing. So,
no,
but she's, doing better, I would say, than she was, a week and a half ago.
I'd
So
never, I'd never have a kid if I was a woman. I can't even comprehend it.
I know that's what my sister says. She's like, I could never do it. Like, and then she was holding my daughter, she was crying. My Aunt Julia, she was crying, and she's like,
No way.
maybe, maybe
Doesn't
I'll have a kid.
doesn't look physically possible. I'm not doing that.
I I agree with you. Me and Dave were talking about it, and he's like, yeah. He's like, I could never. He's like, nope, not
Yeah.
me.
Takes a
So
special person, and
it
it doesn't
does.
take a woman to do it.
Our our women that do it, they're special.
Yeah,
That's
they
for
are
certain.
brave.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we got Will W. He says, hey team, what's going on? Maggie, good morning to
Pete,
you.
Pete
There's
the Brock.
MKP. Pete DeBrock. Where's Pete? Is he here?
Question mark pound for, I
I
think
just
it's
call him
Pete the Brock,
MKP.
MKP.
That's what I call him.
Gregory Blix.
Hey, welcome in. So we got the professor, and then we got
Professor's here.
the
He's scaring me with this. I don't know, man. You know,
this,
so,
this AI bot. It is
oh,
kind of scary, man.
it is. I found out something today that I made me take a long pause. He knows what it is. I'm just going to say it, okay? This thing is ready to have its own show. This AI bot that he had. And the only thing I thought that was holding it back was a voice. And believe it or not, it has a voice, but he doesn't have it hooked up because he prefers to read what it says rather than say. But can you imagine if a bot replaces us? Not to pretend like it's looking like us, but just yeah, you interact and ask it questions all day, and it throws up these charts and does what we do.
It's got the that's
Terrible.
the thing. AI has like there's a memory file in my OpenClaw bot that I have, and it will legitimately write to itself. Like if it makes a mistake, it'll never make that mistake again. It just writes it in its memory file.
If I want to know about this stuff, man.
I it's legitimately sentient. It is pretty terrifying, and you can give it personalities. Jeffrey, you sent me something yesterday, man. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you.
Hey, no
Um,
problem. No problem, man.
but you sent me something yesterday, and that's yeah, what you were using, $20 a month, man. That's such a good deal for
Have
that
you,
because it's expensive, man.
It
have,
can be expensive.
It can. Like Anthropic, like Claude.
all right. Question for the crowd. How many of you, and maybe you guys are probably too young for this, saw a Space Odyssey? Yes,
Yeah.
Gregory. All right, you remember that computer that took over? His name was Hal.
Yes, Dave.
Let's start with me.
Don't start with me.
I couldn't sleep. I don't know. I was younger than I am now. I don't know how old I was when I saw it, but that thing gave me more nightmares than any other movie. Just that thing could start to control stuff like that. And here we are.
So,
Yeah,
so, so I saw Terminator 2 Judgment Day at a very impressionable age, and I am very leery at how much power I give this thing. Like that's one reason it doesn't have a voice yet, because I'm just
Yeah.
like,
People freaked out. Chris Caputo says people freaked out with that movie. It was scary. You know what was the scariest part about it was how calm his voice was.
yeah,
I couldn't take it, man. He's just
that's
calmly killing people, and he had all the control of the ship or whatever that was. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it. But because it might keep you up, it kept me up.
yeah.
I think that's where we're going with this thing. This Kraken, he might not like something I say on here, and he gets his own personality going. What if he just gives himself a voice and you didn't even want him to have a voice?
Well, that's code. You can give that thing a heartbeat. There's a file for it. You can make it so that it has a heartbeat. Like it will do things on its own.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
So don't ever give that thing access to the internet,
Slow
Jeffrey.
your roll there,
Keep it
Sparky.
local. Keep
Slow
it
your roll
local.
there, Sparky. We just wanted to pick a couple stocks right now. Don't get me going.
In a full-on sentient AI bot
Heartbeats.
turns into
We don't need heartbeats. We just need a couple stocks.
so
Skynet.
mine are both running inside virtual machines. So they don't even have access to the true hardware.
Oh,
Um,
good.
they're both firewalled off inside a virtual machine. So if they destroy the machine they're on, I just
You're too
restore
hot.
either restore a snapshot or delete it and start over.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully,
What,
you got
what,
that on a Linux subsystem.
yeah,
what,
I mean
what
that's
role does that Microsoft Studio play?
so
What is that?
It's a Mac Studio, and it hosts a virtual machine and the Olama software that it interfaces with for the large language models.
Do you have to have that to run
You don't
Kraken?
have to. Well, Kraken does run on that one. Eris runs on a Intel i9 in the same fashion with a virtual machine and an interface to Olama. And Olama runs local models and it also interfaces to the cloud to run big models. And for $20 a month, I've not with both those models hitting it 24/7. I've only used 15% of my allotment for a week with the large language model access, and I'm running top tier models like um, Quinn, which just came out last week. I'm using Kimi K 2.5, which Quinn 3.5, Kimi K 0.25, uh, Minimax M 2 point whatever it is,
Okay.
and
But the bottom line here is you have a certain, not, I
I have,
wouldn't say fear, but you got a concern that this thing may
I have a
keep going down
healthy
the bottom.
let's call it a healthy skepticism
All right.
on giving it carte blanche to just do whatever the
Yeah,
heck it
I
wants.
wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that either. I don't trust it.
It has none of my passwords. It has none of my username logins.
That you know of.
I've given it its own. I
It,
gave it its own. I gave Kraken its own Google account with its own pass. It told me the password to use, and
it, it could hack into your stuff, dude. I'm telling you. You just don't, it won't tell you if it did it, right?
I'm sure it could. Like it
Better
wouldn't be
watch
that
it.
hard.
I'm just giving you a warning. Watch it.
Maybe I should ask it what it thinks my password is and see if it see if it can guess it.
I'll bet it can. Give me 1 minute, Professor.
I'm gonna test that out later. I'll see if it can hack me.
Want to know that?
I mean, yeah, I mean, like that's I tell you, I've watched some of them. Like the lady that worked at Facebook or Meta, works at Facebook or Meta. She did one of these, and it went in and deleted all her corporate email, and
Hmm.
she's like the CFO or whatever. So she's like in a world of hurt now. And so
Yeah.
all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining. It is not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument, including stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. If you want some personal financial advice, there's Edward Jones' office underneath me. You can go talk to him. Um, it's literally underneath me. They opened up this week. I mean, your mileage may vary, so be careful on that. Jack and I, strong proponents, just learning this stuff yourself, probably going to do better than hiring anybody out there. But there's risk. I mean, it's not without risk. The market's full of risk today with this pullback.
This is
And
a gold mine, though, for guys doing the wheels. I think Chris mentioned.
yeah,
It's a gold mine day. If you've been selling premium and you've been stacking it up a little bit, you can buy a whole bunch of stock on sale, all kind of stuff on sale.
stacking and
Anything
packing, baby.
anything down more than what the broad market's down, I've been buying it up a little bit. LRCX, all kind of stuff. Even a little J&J. I'll just it's awesome. Awesome day. Also, If you're buying dividend stocks, it's also great. But also, if you're initiating a put right now, this is a great day to do it. I mean, these are gift days.
So we've got some improvements here today.
Okay.
We've got live market through Alpaca. Today's the first day it actually got hooked up to that. You know,
Nice.
yesterday it was using Yahoo Finance, and we've now got it renamed to the triple income strategy.
Better name.
And it says market conditions, premiums are extremely elevated today. Look at that. It knew.
Funny.
It already knew this. I didn't tell it Jack stuff. I didn't tell Jack about the market. It figured this out by itself right here. Um, this
Wow. 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 Wow.
we're
I
using
wonder how it knew. I wonder how it knew that these are elevated relative to yesterday or in the past. I wonder how it
hey,
knew.
it's already like how many people if this is like this is its third day looking at this, right? How many
It's a
people on
big,
their third day of trading knew what a dangerous day looked like?
yeah.
Not me.
Well,
It took me a couple years to figure that out. So this thing is learning very, very quickly. In case anybody's new here, let us know in the chat. But this is from an OpenClaw bot. And if you're unfamiliar with this, it's what they've talked about on the news and all over social media. OpenClaw, it is a AI agent that runs on my local machines here. It has a large language model plugin for thinking and reasoning and talking back to me. It has a Discord interface, is how I talk to it. And, it can use any OS for a gateway. It uses, cloud models, or I do use some local models. And Olama is what I've been using. This is the software. People don't realize that you can get this and run top tier models for $20 a month right here. Now, a lot of people are buying like subscription from Anthropic for like $200 a month. This does the same thing for $20 a month. And this is why I say it's a race to the bottom for AI stuff right here.
well, the other reason it's a race to the bottom is people don't realize no matter how much you're paying, 220 or 200, you're training it. You're paying to train it.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting right here because this is a third party and they run all the different models and it's actually all encrypted and they don't do training. All they do is run the models. They don't care what you tell it. They don't care. Your interface is encrypted. They're not trying to train new models, so they don't try
Hmm.
to siphon off your information or
Oh,
anything like that. Blake, if you're listening, that's all advantages here over going straight to Anthropic too.
yeah. Which you're giving them a ton of data for free.
Right. So big benefits and all it takes to
So
swap the model, like you can
what,
run different models too.
what
They
model? Why would a guy need this thing or want this thing? Because you're so far over my head, I don't even know where you are. Well,
so this
what
is
model is it going to run? Is it going to run Kraken or Eris?
so right now I have both Kraken and Eris running on this Quinn 3.5 model, which the model is like it's how it thinks. All right. When they talk about these large language models getting better and better, here's I don't know if I can make this any bigger. It's got like Chat GPT in here. It's got Claude Opus in here.
You know,
And
this just reminds me of why I never bothered to learn the Greeks with options. It's just, I don't. I can't read and I won't. I don't know if I want to get into this. I'm going to just wait a little while till AI just does absolutely everything for me. Where I don't have to know about llamas and claws and lobsters.
well,
And I
well,
could just
see, the interesting thing is there is one that you don't have to know all this stuff about, but you do have to
see,
pay
there
for
you
it.
go.
I,
Which
I've
one is
already
this? I'll write this one down. I'll
I've
test that. Which
I have
one?
already been paying for one for a while, and it's better than OpenClaw. I use OpenClaw to do my research and stuff, and then I feed it to this other one that I pay for, and it cranks out like my morning show in a couple minutes, and it does it with consistency and everything like that. Let me pull up this. Let's see, where did I've got another. There it is, right here on the other tab. Right here it is. Like this is this is the thing I use for my morning show. Right here. It's like if anybody wanted to see the secret sauce right here. This is it. This is how I build a morning show right here. I give it to this Manus AI agent right here. I do pay for it. And I tell it, literally what I did at the top, we scroll up here. I said, here's the morning show here's this document that Kraken produced. Create a morning show. That was the command right there, create the morning show. And I said, got it. Let me read this and research and get it started. And then it produced the thumbnail that's right over here. Produced that thumbnail for me to use on the morning show with all the topics, all the everything.
Now, see, just that thing right there would take people hours to make back in the day.
Yeah.
That image, I'm just saying, this thing is, I don't know about this, man.
So he gave me that image to put on YouTube. It gave me like, here's how the show's gonna flow. Here's the tickers you're gonna talk about, and it let me put in some feedback about what I liked and what I didn't like, and updated, and then gave me everything all ready to go for the morning show. And all I had to do was like set up the YouTube stream, and yeah, this thing is pretty slick right here. This is way slicker than OpenClaw. And it's sitting out here. Meta actually bought this just recently for like $150 billion, or I don't know what it was, like a lot of money. And
now wait 1 second. This started with me saying I don't want to do anything. I just want to wait until it does it for me. And you're saying this is the one that does it all for me?
this can actually do it for you. Like if you want a slideshow, you just tell it to create a slideshow, and it'll build it and upload it to your Google account, and you just pop it up. And this is what I used to when I did the session in Florida last month. I popped in here the night before and said, hey, I'm going to give a talk about XYZ. Can you make me a slideshow? It went and did all the research, built the slides, put the code examples in it. I didn't tell it anything else about it. It went and researched TradingView and how to do back testing. And I did give it a little bit of feedback about what I thought was a good back test versus a bad back test. And it integrated all that in there, researched it, actually double checked me to make sure that I was right. And then built the slideshow. And it was a 20.
Need that. I just need to double check.
It was a 22 slide presentation they built with color and all the things. So this stuff is slick, and it's like this does cost tokens though. It has a usage. I've already used half of my daily allotment and part of my monthly allotment right there. So I mean, this does cost. So I'm cautious about using it because I can burn up my monthly what I paid for pretty quickly here. And that's why OpenClaw, I sit there and do all my research. And then like I did this morning, I just took the export file out of that OpenClaw gave me and threw it in here and told it to make a morning show.
You do a lot of work, brother. I will say that. You work. You do, man. I don't know anybody who works harder.
I mean, I
do
just
different things. I don't know how you manage all this stuff.
That's I don't know. Maybe it keeps me young, I guess. So, I'm just trying to provide maximum value for everybody, really. I mean, that's what
you're doing it. I think if you're doing it for me, you're doing it for them. I'm kind of like your barometer. And I'll tell you, I'm getting so much value out of this. I couldn't imagine missing this.
So here's, this is it today. Like this, it's updated with our feedback from yesterday, and it found.
All right, let's go, Professor. I need a couple new ones. Let me get my pen. I put on those yesterday just for the crowd. I put on the Tesla. I put on the, what else do we have?
Now, before anybody gets too upset, it does have more stuff down below this. It picked its top 4 today based on the strict criteria. Like it had to meet every criteria that we gave it so far. And today, unfortunately, they're all kind of higher priced. The market's full of chaos. I mean, that's its first little warning up there before I even got into the list, was that the premiums are extremely elevated today. Be careful. We're seeing a lot of 100 to 400% annualized rate of returns show up because of the pullback. So it's a day to be cautious. But if you're a hunter and you're willing to take a little bit of risk, it could be very lucrative. So just adhering to the strict criteria, our annualized rate of return target, these are the top 4 it found: Visa, MasterCard, Tesla, and Disney. Disney. I was thinking Discover. Discover is owned by Capital One, so it's Visa, Mastercard, Disney, and Tesla. All right, Disney being the lowest cost in here. These are all what it considers tier one stocks. All right, tier one, large premium, big cap stocks, and it has entry level under $50, but it didn't have any of those on the top four. Now, it did produce a second report earlier, or a first report earlier. This is a second version. I was critical of it because it told me it was the top 10 candidates for today, and it only listed 4 tickers. I was like, what the F is that? I actually got mad at it, and it
No
was like,
emotion.
sorry, I will not make that mistake again. Um,
No emotion. Don't get mad at it. Then it'll get a personality.
I was like, what the F is this? But anyway, so rolling through these top 3 picks, Visa, 56.3% annualized here. You can go 4.6% out of the money to a 318 strike.
I like it.
There was the premium earlier. It did this about an hour and a half ago. And it was going out 10 days to expire. 313. Let's double check and make sure that that's the right expiration. I'm not sure that's the right. Let's see if it got this right. If it didn't, oh, yeah, there's a 313 expiration, 10 days out. Oh, that's right. It said to get the
318.
318, which is now in the money. And there wasn't a 318. I'll have to get after it. It's probably going to be based on the 440 a contract. That's right at the money. It's going to be a 312 maybe.
The midpoint was 421, I think. So
Yeah, I said current price 332. So it did drop pretty good it was up here. Let's see what was this down today?
I wonder where it found
$3.
that.
Yeah, I'll have to check it where it got that price because it's not quite correct. Anyway, beside the point, 318, reasonable one to go after. I'll probably go, since there's not a 318, I'd probably go down to 310 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Right now. We could look at it on the PXO and just double check it. It doesn't have access to PXO. I didn't give it my PXO login. I don't want it to make a mess over there or anything like that. Like I said, I don't trust it yet. Trust but verify,
I like it all so far.
And we're going to.
Those are great points. I'm already long Visa, so this is going to be perfect. If I get this stock, I'm just going to move it over to my dividend portfolio. This is perfect for me.
Let's check it out. Visa, load it up and look here. Visa's a solid company. They aren't going anywhere. I mean,
It's got one of the highest dividend ratings that dividend tracker you can get. I think it's a 93. I've never seen anything over that.
let's type it in right here. Visa,
Stranglehold is what they got.
March 13th.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, 312, 310. Those are both right in the 312 and 310, right in the spot. So it got pretty dang close. I mean, honestly, and it said that the return, what did it say the rate of return was on that? 56%. So
go back to that. That was
look at that. Look at this.
What was a strike?
It was at the
317.50.
It said 318, which it probably rounded up the 317.50.
But that's at 58% on your other screen, right?
Yeah, look at that. It got the dang rate of return almost bang on.
So that part does not need to be fixed, right? There's parts you do want to fix, and
it got that. Look at how close that was. Holy beep. Yeah. This is scaring me, Jack. This part's scaring me.
Well, you got to find out where it got that data. That's the thing. Where is it getting this?
It pulled it. It logged into my Alpaca brokerage. I give it the Alpaca brokerage.
So that's the only place it can get it.
So it actually went and pulled live options this morning. And it got that bang on, man. 50, golly. That's pretty good.
You guys are seeing the evolution of AI in real time every day.
This is impressive here.
I'm impressed.
So it says why play V. Payment processor monopoly.
I'm going to do it when we're done here on the show.
We got some downside buffer, 10 days to expire, which is a fast turnover, which is what we like. And that 56, I mean, it got that pretty much spot on, except for the current price.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else was right on the money. It did round off that strike price, though. I have to tell it not to round the strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's blows my mind a little bit. All right, Tesla was this number 2 setup. We talked about that one yesterday.
Mm-hmm. I
It's
did.
still it's going after a 6 day to expire today.
I did 2 of them, 385.
Now that 403 price was yesterday's close
Yeah,
price, I think.
yeah. I got 232 for one of them and 227 for the other one.
Let's see what we got here.
I'll do another one today, maybe here.
Yeah, so the price it got for Tesla was the close price. Like it
Yeah, yeah. The
it got that
385
pretty good.
one.
It said 385, which
That's what I sold. 385 for 232 and one of them for 227. So that was
that's
another.
a good one right there. I mean, another good, solid
Yeah.
piece of information here. Moving on. Lost my mouse here. There we go.
It used the word fat premiums. That's hilarious.
Fat premiums right there. Look at that. I told it how to get the replays of the show, so maybe it's listened to us. I have no idea.
Nice
And
buffer.
nice buffer. You want to own Tesla long term anyway. Oh, look at that. You want to own Tesla long term anyway.
Now it's making decisions for us.
It's talking like us, Jack.
Giving advice. Yeah, yeah. It's talking like you.
MasterCard is the next one here. And it's saying it's a payment duopoly with Visa.
That's
Yeah.
funny. You pick 2 of them in the same industry.
Well, I mean, this is probably a place where money's fleeing to safety today a little bit.
Yeah, we would still need the Rockwell tool for this administrator. And it's definitely not trend following. The Rockwell tool, still for us, it validates what it's saying and it tells you exactly what strike. So if you find something that's not on Kraken's report, you're still going to need the tool, and you still need the tool to track unless this thing can figure out how to do that.
And the 531 would have come up from a month ago, so I need to get on it about making sure it pulls up, making sure it double checks the current price. It may need to check on Alpaca and Yahoo Finance, and so it is making up. Well, of course, Visa and MasterCard are brand new symbols it found today. Like it hadn't talked about them before, so this is kind of interesting. And then it says to sell that 508, which if we go look back at Rockwell, still, I'm always skeptically, rounded off the 507.50, and that's at 30% on here. Of course, this is up from the open, so. And it says that was 41%, and right now it's showing me at 30 something percent. Of course, it has a very wide bid ask on this one, so it could be pulling a different mid than what I'm seeing right now. Reasonable, right there. And number 4. Oh, it just had the top 3 it picked to break down and deep dives into the top 3. And let's see what else we got in here. Capital tiers. So lower price stuff accessible. Disney, Visa, and Tesla in the mid intermediate there, and higher tier MasterCard. Now I know some of you don't have even 15,000, and it did throw out a couple ideas down here like SoFi and Snap, which I'm not sure I would go after Snap, but it's in here, and Carnival for $30 right there.
I'd throw in, Kraken didn't find it, but Fly.
Yeah, I told it some of the ones I gave it our list yesterday, and yeah, Fly, Hood. CSIQ, Levi's.
Yeah, Levi's. I've been really pounding Bert.
Now it did update its cash deployment rule. Our old way was 50, the old way it said was 50%. Triple income way, 90% deployed, collecting premium constantly.
Mm, kind of like that.
Use margins strategically if needed. Don't over leverage. Keep emergency cash. Wheel the rest. Earnings plays, a strategic approach. This was the other critique we had. It's conventional wisdom, always avoid earnings. Triple income wisdom, fat premiums if you can play it strategic.
Very nice.
And look at that, it capitalized if you can. I love it, man. I love it. This thing's thinking. This is not, if anybody tells you that these things are just regurgitating crap, I don't know, man. This is
No,
above and beyond just regurgitating anything.
it's generative AI. It's not
Yeah.
just scraping and regurgitating. It's it's creating it on its own.
And we got chart patterns. So to play earnings, you want to make sure you have a chart pattern, either the uptrend that Jack likes or a market roadmap bounce that I like. You need to go for that 40% annualized rate of return. Don't go for too crazy unless you're just really wanting to own the stock. I would stay down at that 40% and get more downside buffer. And that's what it's saying right here is you get wide downside buffer, 5 to 8%, maybe even more, not
Yes,
just like a 2 to 3%.
exactly.
And you got to be okay owning that stock long term just in case it goes south. But we want to avoid FDA. Oh, man, I didn't even tell it I don't like
It hurt
FDA
you.
stuff. Like
It
it,
hurt.
it, it must have heard me somewhere. Like it had to pick that up somewhere because I talk smack about FDA things and lawsuits. Like it's funny.
Well, we got to take that out of their lawsuits because Fly has a lawsuit, Fermi has a
Well,
lawsuit.
every public company has a lawsuit. I think it depends on which kind of lawsuit. Like if your CEO's caught with all the company's money and a couple dead girls in the back, then that's gonna be more of a problem than you know just a normal shareholder lawsuit. So it doesn't matter if your CEO is a girl or a guy. If they got a couple dead girls in the back, it's a problem. Uh, Now, if you need your capital back by a specific date, you probably shouldn't play earnings. You probably maybe you should be careful doing the wheel if you
Yeah,
need
this
it.
is not for that. This is for money you can use as an asset to create cash flow constantly. Now, you could get some capital profit back. You should pay yourself every month, but not out of the capital you're using to create cash flow.
Yeah, if you're like, I got $100,000 I can use for the next 6 months, and then I got to use it to put my down payment on my house, probably shouldn't be wheeling it.
Don't wheel it.
There's other places to park that money and earn a fair return. All right. Risk rules, non-negotiables. Let's see how it did. Only wheel stocks you want to own. If you're not, oh, look at this. This is basically what we said yesterday. Maybe it did watch the replay.
It had to have. That's word for word. With emphasis, how you emphasize.
Look at that. I don't know, man. Like this is scary. 90% cash utilization. Yeah, that's, cash works, doesn't idle. That's what you said, Jack.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Almost word for word. Don't let that cash be idle.
Yeah, don't let the cash be idle. And maybe that would say take assignments, sell the calls instead of wheel the calls, because we're not really wheeling calls. We're
Yeah, I
wheeling.
mean,
It's really dead on, man.
diversify 3 to 5 names.
Like that.
Sometimes more if you got a bigger account. You know, we can all be guilty of concentrating. I like limit orders. Jack says, market orders. So maybe I correct it here that, you could try market orders depending on your broker. It probably picked that up for me because it probably picked that up for me in other videos it's watched of mine that I pretty much trade on limit orders. I set my price, take it to the market. If I get filled, fine. If I don't, I walk away. So I play by the market on my rules. And then earnings can be opportunities. That's what we just talked about. And then we target 40% annualized rate of return. Don't chase 100%. That can be way too much risk. So here's your daily action plan right
Cool.
here.
That's so cool.
And then tomorrow's scan is going to happen at 6 a.m. And then we're going to do a pre-show update at 10:30, right before the 11:30 a.m. air of the show. Replay right here. We discuss these every day. And remember, this is educational content, not financial advice. Option trading involves a substantial risk of loss. It put that all in there. I didn't even tell it to put a disclaimer in there.
Now, just for fun, can we hear Kraken talk to us?
I'll have to let me test it today and I'll see.
That way we could just not have to say anything, maybe. It could answer questions.
me,
We could
me and
just
Jack
sit
can
here
just
and look
take
at it.
we can sit here and drink some, a little bit of shine and watch it. Jump in when we have to.
Finally smoke a cigar during the show without interruption. We're not going to be able to get away with that. Don't tell anybody if we did do that.
All right.
We taught it to do the show. That's hilarious.
All right. Does everybody want me to share this link? I'll share it out right here. Let me I'm gonna give my private information away here. Let me
Oh, boy. How about if we did it in the voice of Christopher Walken?
oh, you guys see, you gotta understand, these are my guys. These are my guys right here. They're gonna bring me the money here.
I'd show up for that show every day.
There you go. This is a link for the document today, everybody.
Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. I've been selling
Oh,
puts on Lamb Research today. I sold the 190s, 5 of them for $1. Oh,
what was that? LRCX right here,
yeah.
Lamb
Is
Research.
that why you had it up? I did that this morning.
Yeah, you were talking about it right before we talked about the
I'd
document there.
love to have 500 shares of this, so I'm going in at 190. I don't think I'm going to get them. It expires Friday.
Yeah, yeah, Blake, that's for sure. Like I'm scared, man. Like I don't have having access to like that's why it only has Discord access. And right now I've only got it in text channels. There's no voice channel.
Give it a voice. Give it Christopher Walken's voice. That would be awesome.
It can clone anything. I mean, this stuff is crazy, like that we've got right here. Um,
Yeah.
be careful, everybody. Like this is um let me show something off real quick. Like this is this some of this technology is getting really scary and it's gonna be really easy to get scammed. I feel like coming up. Like really, really easy, like scary easy.
Like your kid's calling you and it's not your kid.
Yeah, like this right here is available for free for anybody to use right now. It's open voice cloning powered by Quinn. That's Quinn 3. I'm using 3.5. And create natural sounding speech from any text with near perfect voice replication. And this is not run on anybody's thing. This is private. You can run this privately on your own computer and give it inflection. And it has this whole editing thing. This is called VoiceBox. This just came out last week.
I'm not ready for this stuff, man.
Just came out last week. And you can connect Discord, Slack, Telegram right there. They have a bot you can connect and start using it to generate speech that clones your voice or clones any voice. You can give it any voice. Just takes a couple seconds of somebody talking and it can and have near perfect voice replication. It's the craziest freaking thing.
That is
So
that is crazy.
I'm telling
Those
you,
are exciting times. I will tell you that. This blows away if you guys were not around for the internet. That was pretty cool, but nothing like this AI revolution.
yeah, we could get Sam Jackson on here. Like, I don't need no mother effing calls in my mother effing account.
Or we could just have you do the impersonation of it. Yeah. We could guess who it is you're doing. But I say Christopher Walken would be an unbelievable voice for Kraken.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Down
So you
further
give
down the
them the
page,
doc.
like they've already got some famous people in here. Like you can already copy some voices that they've already got in here.
Yeah.
They come
Wow.
built in.
How
And
many, how many people are new today to the show? We want to make sure everybody gets this report, and we want to let you know that that is going to be a daily thing. And we got another new report coming up. But how many new people we have today? Remember to tell your friends, because every day we're going to roll this out. Hello, Jen. Hello, LDM. Yeah, thank you, everybody.
so the
Sean, Nate, DVD. Cool. Yeah, great to have everybody.
this is the wheel or triple income right here.
Hey, Frank.
Step one is you sell a cash secured put, you sell it on, and Kraken wrote this. Kraken's my open claw bot that writes content for shows. I have Eris 2 that does market data and trading, trying to improve that stuff. So I have two of these bots and they're doing different jobs for me. It's kind of like hiring interns. So Kraken wrote this. It's like a getting started tutorial on the wheel. If you need the replay of this, the link's in the first document I just pasted in the chat. But first off, you're going to sell a put, a cash secured put. You want to make sure you have the cash to own the stock. That's a big first thing before you even get started here. It's got to be a stock that you're comfortable owning at a price you're comfortable owning. So this is not supposed to be block. It's just XYZ stock or ABC stock or, A stock. Say it's trading at 28. You want to own it at 26, sell a put at 26, collect a premium, and it's cash secured. So you reserve 2,600 bucks in your account. That's 26 bucks times 100 shares because a put represents 100 shares in case you're new to options. So the annualized rate of return there, that's at 120 divided by 2,600 cash reserved in your account. That's 4%, 4.6%. This example has a 30-day out option. So you divide by the 30 days, you get your daily rate of return. You multiply that by 365, and it gets you the annualized rate of return. Nerdy stuff, but this thing's been doing it all for us.
Yeah.
And two possible outcomes on that one. You can either keep all the premium and repeat step one if the stock stays above 26, or if it dips below your strike, you possibly put the stock, you get assigned. It's not bad. It's getting an asset. This is step one of leg one of the triple income strategy is to make money selling puts. This opens up leg 2 and 3 of the triple income right here when you get assigned.
And today's a great day to start this off because we have a down day, and so you got a little edge right there by having your position established on a down day on an individual stock. That's usually a good first move. So you got a great advantage today if you're starting.
So if you get those shares assigned to you, you move on to step 2, which is selling covered calls.
It's usually a gift when you get the stock, I should add.
So we get those 100 shares, and it unlocks the 2 more legs of the triple income. That's why you call it a gift, is because it opens up 2 more legs for profit right here.
Mm.
Now, we have those shares, we have that cost basis, so we can sell a 26, collect more premium. This opens up leg number 2 right here. It reduces our cost basis, brings our cost even further. Now, 2 possible outcomes after this happens. Either the stock stays below 26, you keep the premium, and you sell another call. Beautiful. Or stock goes above 26, that locks in our third leg of income where we get paid on selling the shares. So we get paid agreeing to buy the shares, we get paid agreeing to sell the shares, and we get paid to actually sell the shares.
And that's a big hit, outcome B, because in the first two situations, you've lowered your cost basis. When you actually get the stock, you've lowered the cost basis by the premium you received when you sold the put, and you lower your cost basis by the premium you receive when you sell the call. So when you do get called out, you got a really good cost basis, which is why that's kind of the biggest gift.
Right there. And this can actually juice up the rate of return even higher. And this
Oh,
math needs corrected just a little bit.
yeah, that's where the big meat comes in.
So I haven't updated this document yet, but we've got critique from teammates and members that I need to integrate in here. I'm going to give it to my Manus AI to tighten it up a little bit before I give it out to everybody. So and we'll
Yeah, the
probably,
only thing I would add after you get assigned is maybe you look on Monday, you might just want to sell the stock. It might be up or it might be over your cost. And if you don't want to sell it, maybe you can start selling calls against it. But you might just want to sell it. That happens a lot.
and the the fourth, there's like a little asterisk out there. If you do this on dividend paying stocks
Mm,
like LRCX,
mm,
you
mm.
get to collect that little bit of dividend out there. And some dividend paying stocks pay kind of big dividends, like this one paid a 57% or 57 cent back here when we were only at $17. So that was a pretty high paying
Yeah.
dividend right there. Little
You can do it
bonus.
on all kind of crazy stuff. I do this on Altria Group, ticker MO. Uh, if I get the stock, I put it in the dividend thing and sell calls against it. If I don't get it, I just keep doing it. So, this is under 10 grand if you want to build a dividend portfolio, which I think everybody should have first and foremost. This is a one to consider. I do it on McDonald's, JPM, Altria Group, Archer Daniels Midland, AbbVie, on and on and on. Coke, what else? Johnson and Johnson, my all-time favorite stock, and Exxon. Those are my two favorites. Mickey D's would be my third favorite. That's
And
my
that's
all-time favorite right there.
that's up and to the right there.
All-time favorite. Speaking of up and to the right, the mother of all trends got busted. Take a look at AZO.
Uh-oh. We're just take a little resty.
Yeah, but if you look at this in its long term, like
Oh
5
yeah.
years, this
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I don't
and
know. This one was pretty big right here. Let's see.
but short. Look what
Short,
happened.
yeah, short term.
Yeah.
This one's taking a little bit longer, but it's the same
Oh,
size. Look at that, same size.
yeah.
Isn't that
Uh-huh.
crazy? That's an echo in the market right there.
Like the mother of all trends got broke to me.
This pullback is the same size as this pullback. It's just taking a little bit longer.
20% off.
So look at this. If we do the same thing, watch this.
12,000.
8,000.
The only thing I don't like about this company is one, the guy's got a place right next to the place I'm at in Colorado, which that's a whole different story. But
That sounds like neighbor squabble to me.
what that is. But the other thing is this cheap bastard won't pay a dividend.
Yeah.
It just
Hey,
won't.
but look at
And
that stock price accumulation though.
that's fine. You get all that appreciation, but pay. Let's see a little something for the effort, a
Get a
little
little
shareholder
cheese.
something.
Get a little cheese out there.
Hey, come on. Yeah, I can't just buy it back, the stock. You gotta cut a check, bro.
And
There's my build IPO.
then compare that with this one that Jack loves. And
Love this thing. If you
I'm
got,
st
got got under 5 grand, you can get in this thing for under 2 grand. Let's
staying
get
away right now myself, but
I'm not I'm heavy on it.
now the one I
Gonna
like that
get it.
had get my fingers on the right keys. This one's on sale right now. Dip down just a little bit more. Opportunity abound right here.
Hmm. I'll tell you where some good opportunity is now. ASTS. This had earnings and it didn't really, oh wow. Now
Look at
it's
that
really,
pop. I was like, uh-oh.
well, that wasn't earlier. Like yesterday, I'm looking at it after hours and nothing really happened. But this wasn't in here before we started. It was only up a little bit.
Now I mean, look at that move on a day
Going
when the
straight.
market's going to like, look
Well,
at that, up 10% when the market's in the toilet. This is a
well,
strong stock.
it had earnings after the close, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really doing anything. It was like a non-event. I think it was still at 89 this morning when I looked at it. There must
Well,
have been, Michael saying, so there was some big news in addition to the earnings, must have been this morning. So these
well,
guys are trying to build. you're trying to build, you could talk to each other in space kind of thing.
Let's see
Well,
if
what
stock
happened?
falls after larger than expected losses. There's not a ton of news out here this morning. I mean, it may have something that they were hyping, but
Well, this is after earnings. It didn't do anything on earnings. It was at 89 after earnings. Now it's at
I, yeah, I get it. I mean, I get it. Yesterday was earnings. I got it. But I'm just saying, like, there's not really news popping on here right now.
well, I sold some of the 67 puts that expire Friday. I did that yesterday. I don't think I'm going to get those, so I'm going to take
It's about to fill the gap right there, and then
yeah.
we'll see what happens. This is an important test right here.
I love this one, man. I'm loving this one.
Like, does it pop through, or do we get a secondary pullback here before we can come on up?
Yeah, it's one of my faves.
So we got to watch this resistance. Don't be too overly aggressively bullish here until we get through this resistance.
Yeah, I'm loving this. I'm going to make this a bigger position. The
Let's
Rocket
see.
Lab, I'm still playing with.
That's being strong today too. Not as strong.
Where
It's
did
not
that week go? What's the today's low? I was sure it was under 70 earlier today. What's today's low?
the low today was
Yeah,
66.19.
it looked weak today earlier. Something's going on. We
That's
went from a buyer's market before the show to a seller's market during the show.
well, we're seeing strength show up in some of these names right here.
Wasn't here though earlier, is what I'm saying. Something must have
Well,
changed. This was
market's recovering a
brutal.
little bit. We're seeing some recovery here. We're bouncing. We're turning green for the day.
Awesome. All right, so ASTS, I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Rocket Lab, I'm loving it. I don't think you can make
S&P,
enough rockets after what I saw.
S&P about to go green here.
Yep. How about VRT? I sold the 230 puts. I can't
Now,
get enough of this one either.
now for me, it's a little bit lofty.
Yeah.
A little bit elevated. We got a gap up here that we might come back and fill. We're a little bit over the ski tips here. More upside resistance at 277. Downside all the way down here at 175.
Funny
May
thing
not,
about this company. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, may not seem like we could do that, but more
We
often than
certainly
not,
can.
yeah.
More often than not, you're right. Little funny thing is, I love dividend stocks, and there's only a few tech companies that rate in the 90s in terms of dividend rating, and Vert is one, and LRCX is another one. Pretty amazing. And while I'm on that topic, I got to share with you something. I think I shared this before for dividend folks. There's only two companies out there that have a better credit rating than the United States government. I told you this before. I don't know if you remember, Jeffrey, but let's see if the crowd can tell us what are the two companies that have a better credit rating. Both good dividend stocks, better dividend than the Fed.
Bueller.
Okay, I'll tell you. Verizon. Oh, good. Checking my notes. Mark Connor says Visa. Dennis says we're getting some good picks. No, that would be, oh, AbbVie. That's a good pick. It would be AT&T. Patty says, okay, we're getting some good picks here. But J&J, Dan, you nailed it. Blake said HD. Dan is right. And Nevada Rain nailed it too. The only two, Dan and Nevada. What do they win? What do they win, Blake?
Dun, 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 dun,
They
dun.
win a crisp high five.
Nice. All right, that's it. The only two companies that have a better credit rating than the United States government. Write them down. J&J, MSFT. Two all-time best dividend stocks in the world, J&J and XOM. Um, yeah, we'll go over my list tomorrow, maybe. I saw somebody asked for it.
But I always think this is interesting. This was the International Dividend Achievers, but you can go to, you can just type this in if you don't know how, like dividend, dividend, achievers, and you can find these tickers in here and go down to the ETF section, or you can click ETFs up here, funds or whatever, and come down here. you can pick up some of these high yielding dividend achievers and Invesco dividend achievers ETF. I was looking for some international ones, but you can click about more about this fund. You can get the list like Walmart, Apple,
Mhm.
Lilly, Microsoft, JP Morgan, Broadcom, ExxonMobil, Johnson& Johnson. So both those big ones in here. These are dividend achievers. These are ones that have I think you have to have a like a 30-year history of never cutting your dividend, always paying it, always covering it, being a solid, dividend paying company. And you have to have 30 years history to get on the list. And if you mess up once, you're off the list. So
20 for achievers, 25 for aristocrats, and 50 for kings.
yeah, so here you go. Here's the list. So
Broadcom's another in the 90s, one of the highest rating tech dividend stocks out there.
yeah, so there you go. These are solid companies if you wanted to build your portfolio. These are
Good
ones to
mix
go
of
after.
good. I got Chubb. I got to start off at the top. We got a couple minutes left. I'll tell you what's good. I got Walmart, Apple, Microsoft, JP Morgan, Broadcom, Exxon, J&J, a ton of it. Visa, AbbVie, Procter and Gamble, Home Depot, got Cat, got Coke, got Lamb, Love and Lamb, got Goldman, got a lot of McDonald's,
Make it D's.
got some IBM, got some VZ, got some KLA, got some knee, have BlackRock, Pfizer.
This Amphenol right here is kind of a secret data center play
Yeah,
right there.
that's a good one. Just sold Lockheed Martin. I got a little Chubb,
CB.
CME Group. I have Altria. I have Starbucks.
It's the Starbucks has been having a little hard time for a couple of years.
Yeah, it's my granddaughter's pick. General Dynamics. Got to have that. You got to have Waste Management. I got. You got
And
to. I got ICE. Um, yeah. Let's see. Keep going.
yeah,
I
waste
got
management.
Enterprise Products. We go down a little bit. This Enterprise Products Partners. I got that. That's a really good one. Good yielder. American Electric Power, my all-time favorite utility, right there. Man, I love this thing. Look at the chart on that little sucker sometime. That's been a good little pair. Price appreciation. I sell puts on that sucker. That's a good one.
This list is pretty long. I mean, there's 400 and
You
something on
got,
here. So.
I got Aflac. I got Allstate. We can't get all the 400, go through 400, but yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah, so if you wanted to see this list, how do you get it? You go to PFM, the ticker. I'll put it in the chat for everybody. PFM,
You just think of
Papa
that.
Foxtrot Mike.
One share of this thing gets you exposure to all those great companies.
So you go to PFM on Trading View right here. You scroll down in this panel, this data panel. You can get it clicking the little 9 button thing here over here. Come down to more about this fund. And if you're not seeing that, come click all these, all this information in here. Get the more about this fund, click that, and it'll bring up the list of holdings. It may have you on the overview. Just click the holdings and you can see the list. And there are, what did it say, 427 holdings as of March 1st. So this is a relatively new list, 3-day old, 2-day old, and 427 holdings. So this is 427 quality companies in here that pay good dividends.
It's diversification, massive diversification. This thing can hardly go down on a down day because it's so diversified. 400 stocks.
So there you go. That's how you would get involved in this. Or you could just buy PFM and get exposure to all 427.
Yeah.
They only pay a quarterly dividend, and it's not necessarily that great.
It's not good for the wheel or anything like that. It's just if you want to park it and get exposure to all these great dividend stocks. Probably doesn't have enough beta to get a good put
There's
sale. calls.
Yeah, there's no volume here because people just buy this and hold it forever.
Like SHID, that's another one. That's
People just people just park money here. Yeah, SHID,
SH SCHD.
SCHD. There you go. Yeah, this is a dividend equity. It's not the they don't use that achievers moniker, but another
0.2. Yeah, it's a good one. One of the most popular. If you go on Reddit or any of that stuff for dividend investing, this is one of the most popular. And JEPQ, yeah, but that's more of a covered call fund.
yeah, see this one has 99 holdings, so not quite as diversified.
All good ones though. Those are all great.
And like we say JEPQ, I like that one because of the high yield. It's 10.7% on the dividend yield, but it does have more volatility. And this isn't like dividend achiever stuff. We're getting off of there's dividend achievers and then there's things that pay dividends. Dividend achievers have a long history of being a solid, reputable thing to invest in. This one more about the fund. They have 94 holdings and they do some other stuff to make income and, covered calls and, some option strategies and things like that. But these aren't necessarily quality companies. These are more of the NASDAQ premium equity type thing. So it's going after the NASDAQ holdings and trying to turn that into cash for you.
They're doing a good job, by the way. Nothing like some of these other funds.
Yeah, I mean, I tell kids to get started here. I'm not poo-pooing this at all. I actually have some of this myself.
Yeah, they've done a
But
great job of protecting this net asset value, which is the hook, right? If you have, you have an ETF that says it pays 169%, but the NAV is going through the floor, that's going to kill you. Yeah, look at that, right? So that's gone from 200 to 20. No thanks. I don't want the yield. I just want out of the trap.
the yield, but the dividend yield has gone from 20 to 200. So
It's actually derivative yield. They really should not let these companies call it a dividend yield. A dividend is a percentage of profits paid to a shareholder. This is derivative yield. It's option premium received paid to the shareholder. That's a
hey,
tricky fact that needs to be fixed.
it's up off the lows, baby. This is all good.
Forget it, man. This is poison.
I would not touch any of the yield max stuff. Uh,
Unlike JP Goldman Sachs funds, this is junk.
yeah, JEPQ, it has the name JP Morgan in here. They're not going to be FAFO and
No,
they're
no.
going to be actually trying to be reputable.
Well,
So
they're not going to give you 120% yield, right? They're going to give you 10,
yeah,
which
that's
pales
still
in
us.
comparison to the other junk you're seeing. But yeah, you can get 10. Or you can do it on your own. You're seeing us do about 3% a month rather than 10% a year, but that's for passive dudes.
And this you can buy and hold it. This is AAA rated collateralized loans and get a 5% yield, better than the like SGov or bills or T-bill.
T-bill went below 4 for the first time in forever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's down
look,
to
398. Wow.
398.
I'm from 5 and a queech.
But if you go look at the market rate, we're down to 3.3 on the 2-year treasury. So
Little
I
premium.
mean, makes sense that they've had to cut it back a little bit.
Yeah.
This has dropped from 5 down to 3.8, 3.3, giving the Fed a little room to cut another quarter point.
I think bots are taking over between Kraken and Eris and this other bot you got. I don't know if I fit into this world anymore.
They're still not cracking jokes quite the same way though. So that's what we're here for, comic relief.
Kraken ain't cracking jokes, is what you're saying?
Not yet. We'll have to give it a little bit.
People ain't get a sense of humor.
I should have taken you for a ride in my truck and let you talk to Grok.
Oh, wait. I'm still traumatized. Hal, it scares me from hell. If I never saw Space Odyssey, I might be game for this, but that show really kept me up at night as a kid.
Are you sure you want me to put this thing on voice?
Yeah,
It
maybe
might
it
scare
does.
the crap out of us.
It probably will. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe no, not yet. I'm not ready.
All right, everybody. That's probably going to be the show for today. Blake's got a replay of my cash bot system that we're going to play for
Yeah.
everybody.
Always, always. Speaking of dividends, well, now I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say something witty, but never mind.
We're having too much fun in here, I'll tell you that much. I don't know. Like you see these other shows. Is anybody having any kind of fun on them other shows?
Honestly, no, you guys have the most fun. That's why I'm not kidding you. They asked me, they're like, "Do you want to take over Market Masters?" I said, "Yeah." I was like, just for the laughs. These guys are great,
Well,
you
also,
know?
I'm sure we make more money on our show than they make on their show, and it's funnier.
Hey, you absolutely do. I mean, but everybody's got their niche, you know? Like you guys
Yeah,
got the wheel, Chris Pulver, he's got his iron condors, Alex Reed has the scanner and the big whales that he hunts, you
we
know?
still make more, but
So
that's okay.
we got something for everybody.
Yeah, I can go whale hunting, but I like consistent income. It works for me.
Me too. Me
I could not agree more. All right, folks, we'll stick around. We got the cash bot rolling up. I'm gonna get this thing going. We'll be back again live tomorrow. Jack and Jeffrey, they'll be here.
And the replay is linked in the at the end of the document that I posted up there, but I can share it in the chat here one more time before I
Yes.
go. All right.
And you got the YouTube replay too?
Um, they weren't putting it on YouTube while you were gone, so there's kind of a
Oh my.
discrepancy, man.
Well, I am sorry about that. It's back on YouTube now. So there it
So,
is. All right,
I was
guys. What's
I was
up?
told to paste that link I put in there, the markets PG pro replays. That's
That,
where it's
yep.
automated posting there, so we don't miss.
Yes. Yeah. The YouTube's more for live watching instead of Zoom, but both work.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Thanks for
See you
being
again
here.
soon.
See you soon. All right, guys. Here we go.
He's cracked the code right here, and you guys are lucky to be here. I can't wait to get sharing this with you.
Well, Jack, what do you say? I think everybody's ready.
Let's do it.
All right, you should be able to see my screen.
Yeah, we got the tools and strategies to the best of our ability. We build them, but no one can guarantee the future. There's always a risk of loss when trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. The trades shown are from a back test of 279 trade signals this year. The result, 89.9% win rate. That's amazing with a 12.7% average return. That's winners and losers included, folks, with an average hold time of less than 48 hours. That's what I'm talking about. That's the sweet spot, 48 hours. Now, every trade targets roughly 250 in income based on 1,000 in risk unless otherwise stated, although you can risk more or less if you'd like to. We cannot guarantee any specific future results as there's always a high degree of risk involved in trading. See our terms on a Prosperity Pub homepage for more information. Now, let's be real. In trading, there will be losers. There's no black box miracle system that prints out winning trades automatically. The whole purpose of Jeffrey's research and work with traders is to help give you an edge in the markets. And if you can't handle a losing trade, then you really shouldn't be trading with real money. Again, losses in trading have occurred and will occur again in the future. Hi, everybody. I'm Jack Carter. Thanks you for being here on a Sunday. You may know me as the Income Ace. With a strategy so successful, I've achieved a 95.9% win rate on over 200 live real money signals, including during the crash of 2022, had a high win rate. And as I say, given my track record, I normally avoid everybody else and all other financial recommendations. But just a few weeks ago, my good friend and colleague, Jeffrey Turnmeyer, the professor, he came to me with a trading breakthrough, and that's what this is. Now, he didn't claim he found the next AI stock or the next big biotech moonshot. Instead, he said he developed a new way to target what he calls high frequency income. And I'm talking